Hello everybody and happy Friday. As I teased in my previous video, I have a shirt today that is very obscure, quite unique, and probably quite rare. So what I'm going to do is this time I'm just going to simply just open the parcel first because I don't really quite know where to start. It is a very, very unique club and a very unique shirt, to be honest. And I'll explain to you how I stumbled across it. And I have a feeling that some of you who watch this video right now may be interested in buying one yourself. It's not too dissimilar to a shirt that I showcased earlier on in the season. So I will show you what I've got, and I think maybe we can increase the sales for this club. So I got it sent directly from the club, so that's very good. It's always nice to deal with them specifically. So let's open it up and see what we have. I'm rather excited myself. So, get rid of that. Okay then, so I have already these have got some weird sizing on. So I've ordered two shirts. One of them is for me and one of them is for a friend. Obviously I ordered medium and she ordered a small. So this one says large, this one says medium. Now, on the inside of the tag, it's got the sizing, which I feel like, no, that's correct. Yes, I'm just getting confused. It's because it's taking the Asian size as the primary, so of course Asian football shirts are generally one size up, so that'll be the medium, and then that will be the small. We'll find out when I open it up to figure out the actual sizing, but I think that's correct. So a bit of a heart attack going on there. I figured that might have gone totally wrong, but no, it's fine. So yes, I do have two shirts. I have a friend who's a football shirt collector as well, and I sent her an image of the shirt. I was like, hey, look at this, do you recognize this? And she was like, oh my god, I totally know who that band is, and I had no idea myself. When I showcased the price, I was like, hey, I can grab you one and I can send it to you when we next meet up. And she's like, okay, fine, I'll do that, that's fine. So I'm slowly bankrupting her with the amount of shirts that I'm sending her images of. So it has arrived, and I will double check the size for you, Shah, but I feel like it should be fine. So I will put aside one of them, that is that one, which I will not be opening, and I will open this one myself. Don't you love a little bit of drama on an opening, eh? So here it is. Right then, there is the rear of the shirt. As you can see, there's nothing at all going on there, just a pure white background. And then the reveal of the front is, ta-da! There we go. Anybody recognize the sponsor? Anybody recognize the club? That's the real question, I suppose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dress the mannequin, maybe double check the sizing, and then I'll come back to you with some images and some information, should I say, about the club and the shirt itself. Okay then, so I've dressed the mannequin and I've done a bit of measuring. As you can see by the way it fits on the mannequin, it is definitely a medium. So if you are going to be wanting to buy one following watching this video, don't worry if it comes with a weird sort of sizing on it, it will be as you've ordered. So the question is though, who does this lovely shirt belong to? And it belongs to a football team called Whitburn Juniors FC. Who are they? Well, to be honest, I'd never heard of them either prior to seeing this shirt. So where did I actually find this shirt? And it was on Depop. I was scrolling through and I saw someone trying to sell the shirt for £25. I thought, well, that's a pretty reasonable price, but I wasn't sure who they were. They could be English, Scottish, whoever it was. So after I googled them, it turns out they are a Scottish football team, which meant I could then add it to my collection. So I went onto their website just to find out a little bit more information, and I found this shirt actually being advertised by them, the club itself, for £15. So obviously the guy on Depop's just bought a few and just selling them on there. And I felt like, well, £15, that's a no-brainer. You don't really find many shirts at that price. And it's kind of cool. I like the design. like this sort of brushstroke chevron at the top. But I remembered when I googled it, I saw a few articles pertaining to this specific shirt, so I clicked on that, and it turns out this one is a little bit more special for the sake of the sponsor. Now, I'll admit I wasn't quite aware who this was, but there seemed to be a bit of hype around it. And when I read further the article, it turns out this sponsor is not just a company, it's a band. So some of you watching this may already know that, and you may be fans of their work, but I would honestly say that I'd never heard of them. So they are a Scottish band, and they would sort of classify in the genre of pop/synth music. It's sort of the music you might find on a FIFA game. It's that sort of that style. I have listened to a bit since just to see what it's all about, and it's not terrible. I do quite like it, actually. It's just easy listening, I guess you would describe it as. So I thought, well, there's always a bit of hype around football shirts that are sponsored by bands or artists or singers. Of course, this season Ipswich sponsored by Ed Sheeran, so that's quite a notable version of this. But there's been some teams over the years that have been associated with bands, and some of them have actually got quite a decent value, just mainly to the rarity of them. So I thought, well, I've not got one, I don't think, sponsored by any artists, so let's pick up this one. So like I mentioned at the beginning, I've sent it to my friend and said, hey, do you want me to tag on the order? And she did, so I've got 2 of these shirts. So the shirt is from 2018-2019, I believe. That's when the article started to appear online. So it's quite a number of seasons old. So with regards to the team itself, they play in the Scottish League, which is the East of Scotland Football League Conference X, right? So their name is juniors, and in juniors in Scotland doesn't necessarily mean the age of the players in the team. It means that the level that they compete. So initially the junior league was separate to the Scottish sort of pyramid football league, but only recently has it merged together. So now it finds themselves, I think, depending on what league you were in at that point, the 6th, 7th or 8th tier in Scotland, with 8th being the bottom. So of course you've got the Premiership, the Championship, League 1, League 2, Highland League, Lowland League, and then it starts going down to other leagues, including the ex-junior leagues. So this one plays in literally the bottom, 8th tier, so they are right at the bottom. They're still above the Glasgow Wellington shirt that I showed you earlier on in this year, because they're just simply an amateur team. But they are doing okay this season, I think. I last looked at the league and they were sort of 5th, 4th, trying to get that little bit of promotion to the next league up, which obviously we wish them all the best for that. So in order to get this shirt, I believe there are 2 options. One is, I think they have an eBay account and they have the shirts on there. Or secondly, you can contact Anne, who I believe is some sort of club secretary or something to that effect, which is what I did. I dropped her a message and I goes, hey Anne, have you got any of these shirts available left in medium and small? And she obviously did. I was like, ooh, okay then, I'm interested in buying some of these. Can I pick up them? And she was like, yeah, of course, don't worry about it. I'm on holiday right now, but if you transfer the money across, I will send them out to you once I return. So I did transfer the money, and they were sent on Thursday and they arrived Saturday morning, so very prompt delivery. So that's kind of the style of the shirt, really. It's manufactured by Kelme. Now it was interesting because on the images that were involved in the sort of the reports, they showed obviously a digital version of it like you get with anybody, and in the bottom right hand corner it had a watermark for DHgate. Now for those of you who are in the know, which is probably most of you, DHgate is a great website for people to go and buy fake football shirts. But of course people are manufacturing there, and with the greatest respect, I don't think there's much market for a fake Whitburn Juniors shirt. So it may be that they were bought through there. I can only imagine that's the reason why that watermark was there. Does that mean that Kelme are even aware that this is one of their shirts? I don't know. Probably, possibly. I don't know how it works, to be honest. So I thought that was just quite interesting to see. The design is really nice. Well, it's got black and gold on, so that's useful. White is not bad on a shirt. I actually like if it's just purely white. I'm not a huge fan, but if it's got something going on, then I do like it. It's got these little ventilation down the side there. It's almost like it's a player issue spec. But it's just really cool. This sponsor here is transferred across, and then the crest is like embroidered into it, and then the Kelme is woven into the material, so it's got a bit of everything going on there. But I just think it's really, really nice. It's very unique, and it's a very obscure team, and for some of you it's probably way too obscure for your collections. And to be honest, I could living in England, I could quite easily just sort of rinse the entirety of the low league Scottish teams. The shirts are probably similarly priced, but a lot of them would just be blank basic shirts, which if you're looking just to get the numbers up, fine, but it just being simply obscure and boring isn't necessarily enough for me to buy it. It's like if the shirt was from something like Sierra Leone and it was a simpler shirt, that one, it means a little bit more because it's a bit more sort of, fanciful, I guess, and not as boring in that respect. But I'm pretty happy to own it. I'm not going to be buying shirts like this all the time. And for the price, I try to advocate that you don't spend all your earnings on football shirts, and for £15 I don't think there's many people who are going to be afraid to spend that. So let me know, what do you think? Do you think that's quite interesting? Have you ever heard of the band before? It's quite interesting when that happens. With regards to the reason why the band was sponsoring this team, it's because the honorary life president of the club is the father of one of the band members. So I suppose that kind of helps, doesn't it? You just ask your son to sponsor the team, and they did. I believe it was just the away shirt, which isn't super uncommon to happen. There are Football League teams that have different sponsors for each shirt. It's not just like, obviously Chelsea, they have 3 and everything. There are teams out there that just break it down and have one for each. So, that's quite a unique thing. So that is the shirt for this video. I have some shirts to arrive. I've got one up there that I still open, which is going to be quite cool. I bought one this week that was really expensive. I don't know when it's going to arrive, but when it does, it's going to be a conundrum because I already have one of their shirts already. Maybe that's a bit of a teaser. But when it does arrive, it's going to be pretty special. But anyway, I will let you guys get on. I hope you all have a good weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.